I haven't read that many fanfics, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to do something creative, right? I said I want to do more writing, so this is the first step in doing more writing. This is the page you're going to be writing on. Yay for Google Docs. Can I just say that Google Docs is the most clutch thing in the entire world?
A few minutes later.
All right, okay, here. I want to give everyone like at the very least like a look of like what their model looks like, because I do think it's important. But this is Wayward Parallax. By day, a sharp... Okay, this is good. This is good. I think if somebody gives me balling or balling, then you hit a slam dunk in front of Mishi and turn the tables. Oh my goodness. I dunked on Mishi. That'd be actually so sad. I like that. That's a good one. The time I got isekai'd into... That's kind of a long one. We need to compress it a little bit. How about this? How about this? How about this? An angel in the Scout Legion. Is that a good one? We'll workshop that. We'll if we come up with a better one later. Okay, so now I was thinking that she'd already be in the Scout Regiment, but maybe we do a fan fiction where the Scout Regiment is on a mission and they find her. I think we're gonna start with writing a fanfic. Nice. So you're in the fanfic club. So I think that what I'm gonna do for this plot between Wayward Parallax and, there I see him, his sharp eyes and tired expression, the man of my dreams, Levi. I'm gonna say that she wakes up in Attack on Titan land, right? She doesn't know how she got there. We're gonna go with the amnesia trope for now. I know it's tried and true, but since we don't have a lot of time to work with, we'll pretend that this is like a chapter 1. And then I think that she's gonna get attacked by a Titan, and then Levi's gonna save her, and she's gonna be like, wow, wowie, Levi, my love. I think that's gonna be the basic plot that we do. See, normally you do an outline. So plot points. So we'll do this, and then I'm just gonna erase it real quick just so I can visualize. So plot points. We're gonna go, wakes up in AOT universe, attacked by a Titan, and then saved by Levi, yay, fall in love. Okay, that's gonna be our basic plot structure here.
A few minutes later.
I feel like starting is the hardest part. Once we like get rolling, we can start going. So maybe for the first line, we won't think too hard about it. I'll just say, this morning I woke up in a strange land. Silent Hill. No. This morning I woke in a strange land. It was beautiful. There were... How do you describe Attack on Titan? Amongst verdant trees, bees, under a blue sky, chirping birds. So that's pretty much like, that's a big... I feel like I'm thinking of season 1 when they're in the forest. Where do Furies reside? Do you think that she'd be from a forest? No, she kind of has like a city vibe with this fit and the NSA tag. So I wouldn't imagine I imagine her design wouldn't have a strong connection to nature. Any semblance, familiarity. Fortunately, there was none. I was used to city skylines and flashing lights. Not a lush forest that... I want to make a comparison to buildings. They stretched and bent to my will and my command. I folded over my forehead in an attempt to ease my pain. Time my headache dulled. Time my headache... I'm just gonna say game to pass. That's an easy one. Suddenly there was a rumbling. Deep in the ground. An earthquake. I said aloud, not an earthquake. It wasn't continuous. The ground shook to a rhythm. A drum beat, almost. Or... ... Suspense! Oh no! Not an ellipses! Suspense! Footsteps. The tremors grew more violent. Enough so I could pinpoint they came from the east. I thought you said west. I turned the direction and came to see a horrible monster. It was like a human. Now I need to describe the hang on, what the fuck is this? Okay, we need to do one thing first, and that is, I need to listen to what the ODM gear sounds like. Oh, I like this. This is like pretty fun music. So she's from the city, so she would have heard something similar to this, right? Some sound effects and scratches, right? Actually. almost like a gunshot. It's like a pneumatic. It's almost like it's like the fucking, what's the word for it? Nail gun sound effects. It's like this kind of, right? A little bit. Like a little bit. That's kind of like, obviously the cable's in there too. I'm just talking about like the first initial explosion. Jesus, Aaron, I'm sorry I keep doing this to you, man. Okay, I think we have our inspiration. And there was a pop. It happens quick, so this has to be in like a quick-ass line. I'm gonna say she doesn't even have time to like register it. I'm not gonna say like suddenly, I'm just gonna say then. Because I feel like then is like, it's like a then. It's just an immediate like, this is what happened next. Because like suddenly implies that like something's happening like urgently. But I kind of want this to be like a, she's saying, I'm writing then because it's more of like a, it just happened and she hasn't really like had time to like register that like it's even happening. And there was a popping noise. There was a loud popping noise.
3, 2, 1, go.
Michi truly was the cutest peach ever. I love her. Ooh. The end. Yay! Yay! Let's read from the top. Okay. So we can fix any grammatical errors. All right. IKEA date with the sweetest peach. Now remember, Jaden, we're only here for one thing. We need to get a new coffee table. And that's it. Okay? Mishi said to me from the passenger seat as she undid her seatbelt. Yes, one thing. Swedish meatball, I repeated. No, we're not. We're getting a coffee table, not Swedish meatball. But I'm hungry, I said, putting on a frowny face that looked like this. If we get the coffee table quick, we can get Swedish meatball, Michi told me as she put her glasses on. A new coffee table and 200 meatballs. I had never sprinted into an IKEA faster in my life. I ran into the coffee table section and looked at their selection. There were tall ones, short ones, ones made of wood and ones made of marble. Which one did she want? I wasn't really sure. I'm not very good at picking either. Running in was kind of useless, I'll admit. But on the bright side, I was able to guard the coffee tables from any other potential buyers. I didn't want them taking the coffee table of Mishi's dreams. After a few minutes of scaring people away with dog noises and Peter Griffin impressions, Mishi caught up to me. This IKEA is so big, I could get lost in here, she said. Don't worry, Mishi, I would find you, like I'd find you in any life, I said, grinning. Mishi slapped my shoulder lightly, trying to hide her smile. But I knew that her biggest smiles were the ones she tried to hide. Together we looked at the coffee table section. None of them seemed right. Whenever we found the one we thought we liked, there was always some little quirk to it. My Hero Academia, like a faulty leg. The color didn't match. The material wasn't good, and sometimes it was just too expensive. But we needed to pick. After all, I needed to get my Swedish meatball. Jaden, I don't know which one to pick, Mishi said. Okay, let's do this, I said. We'll narrow it down to 3 options, and from those, we'll pick which one we like best. And if we still don't know, we'll flip a coin. Surely then we can decide. Okay, she said excitedly. The 3 contenders we picked were one made of oak that looked like it belonged in a log cabin, one made of granite that had a glass top and skinny looking legs, and one that was a Jujutsu Kaisen collab with IKEA. I did not know IKEA did Jujutsu Kaisen collabs. I feel like I already know you want the Jujutsu Kaisen one, Mishi said. Wow, she always could read my mind. Which one do you want? I asked her. I like the granite one. It looks very modern, and I think it'll be more resistant to coffee stains. Now, I had a decision here. I could argue my case for the Jujutsu Kaisen collab table, because that one was really cool. However, that would take some time, and if it took time, then we might not be able to get the Swedish meatball. What was more important to me, the Swedish meatball or the cool Jujutsu Kaisen table? I thought about it for a little bit, and I decided it would be better to pick the one Mishi wanted. Because I figured that for one, it would make Mishi happy, and that was the most important thing in the world. Secondly, maybe I did like the Jujutsu Kaisen table more, but to be honest, I didn't even think we needed a new coffee table, so why did I care if we didn't get the one I wanted? I'd probably stop caring in like a month, whereas Mishi would be happy with that coffee table for the rest of her life. And that would mean I would be happy for the rest of her life too. Let's get the granite one, I said. You have better taste than me anyways. Mishi's face lit up like the fireworks during a Japanese summer festival. We carried the box together to the cashier, who was a nice lady that complimented Mishi on her glasses. We paid for the coffee table, and one of the workers offered to help carry it to the car. Jaden, thank you for going shopping with me today. For your reward, you can have the Swedish meatball. Yay, I gave Mishi a big hug and ran into the food section. I would have gotten lost if it weren't for the arrows on the ground, but eventually I found it. I went to the lady and I asked for 2 Swedish meatballs. The lady frowned. I'm sorry. We're out of Swedish meatballs today. This music is a big tonal shift. She said, oh, that's okay. Thank you though, I said, though internally I was deeply hurt, and to be honest, I didn't know if I'd survive. Racked with grief, I returned to the car, tears in my eyes. Mishi was already in the passenger seat. Mishi, I'm sorry. There were no Swedish meatballs left. I failed you, I sobbed. Of course there wasn't. I already bought them all. She held up a box of Swedish meatballs in her hand. You ran off before I could show you. But come on, let's go home and put this coffee table together and cook some meatball. Mishi truly was the cutest peach ever. I love her. Yay!
3 weeks later.
Alright, I want to look at her Pokemon. So she's... That's like her partner Pokemon. Okay, got it. What does she specialize in? In ground Pokemon? Domain expansion during this battle. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Clodsire is her main one. Does her have like her whole team in the stats? Should I just call it Rika X Reader? Alright, let's try to make this like a little bit shorter. She threw out her 2 Pokemon. I think we should do... Is Hidden Move in Scarlet and Violet? Oh, I have an idea. Torterra and Camerupt. Camerupt knows Eruption, right? It's gotta know Eruption. Yeah, okay. It has to know Eruption. Does Torterra know Sunny Day? It does know Sunny Day. Okay, perfect. He threw out her two Pokemon of choice. Camerupt and Torterra. My heart dropped. I've never seen these 2 before. Gardevoir held on. Do I need to pull up a calc to see if Gardevoir would live? I'm so curious if Gardevoir would just die here. We'll just say this. We'll just and then Sunny Day. Wait, no, I want this to the opposite. Damage calcs for fanfic. It's important. I need to get it. I need to get it right. I have to get it right, Chef. Basically, what's happening is Noelle tried to hard counter, take like the easy, like I'm just gonna take a bunch of ground counters, but she's getting rolled by Camerupt and Torterra.
2,000 years later.
Tales of Despero. Is that the mouse? Didn't get enough one day. We just end it there. End. Or how about You Got Guts, Kid? That's a classic one. You got Guts, Kid. I'll give you that. But you need to return to the academy, not look for dates. You got Guts, Berserk, Kid. Rika turned and walked away. And that was the last time I ever saw her. Oh, man.